All right. No splash screen, no intro, no nothing. I have decided to basically just go all in on YouTube. Because YouTube is the best way to spread your message, in my opinion. And I figured I've been doing this so closed off for so long. I've been streaming for a few people in a closed off community. It has made no sense. So I figured let's just start from the beginning. Let's just start to structure it all in a live stream that covers why we need to shift our paradigm. Why us humans are heading in the way wrong direction. And how the current technology is just keeping us from reaching that destination. And there's a lot to cover, so what better way to do that than to just go through the entire thing again and try to do some research as we're doing this at the same time. Because right now it has been so ad hoc, it has been so responsive, it has been so scattered, so there's been no congruency. This is a perfect opportunity to take it from the beginning. So what we'll discuss to make that a lot clearer is my take on certain things that has happened in our past, in our history, that has led us to this point in time, and how our current point in time is so insanely huge for our very near future. And I think it's our duty to basically share ideas if those ideas have any value, so that we can do something to leave this planet a little better than what we had it when we got it. You know, I want my kids to have something to look up to and to live in. And today, my 5-year-old basically sat down in cold water and started to breathe like this. I don't know why he does this, but that's interesting. And he did that as a way to combat the cold. And he actually said that he was combating the cold, and that's why he breathes and just sits like this, just focusing, using his brain. And I was baffled, completely baffled. Now, he did this once before when he fell and he hit himself. And so he was about to start crying, and I stopped him. I was like, what's happening, right? Because he was about to start crying, and he always cries. He stopped, and then he just carried on as if nothing happened. So I was baffled. What happened? Why are you not crying right now? Are you okay? That seemed like it hurt. Not to focus on the negative here, but he just did something he's never done before. And he gets up and he looks at me and he says, I breathe with my brain, and now it doesn't hurt anymore. And I'm just, my mind was kind of blowing off the hinges as he said that, because my 5-year-old had just tapped into his subconscious or into his mind and actually healed himself consciously when he needed it. I was completely blown away, and I started to ask him different things as to how he sees the world right now, right? What does he see of opportunity around him? And it's insane. It's insane to see how he is developing, and he's becoming his own man, But he's using concepts from quantum physics, and he's 5 years old. We tried a speed memory test just to see how much he can remember, and we went through the memory palace. Just these values, right? I ask him, what's on your head? And he'll say a fruit bowl. And then I say, what comes out of your ears? And he says, vitamins and pills. And then I ask him what his mouth does, and he says exercise, and that he has a long line of friends posting stickers of smiley faces on his throat, and that he has ants in his nose, right? And so I asked him, what is this? Why do you remember those things? And just to see if he was able to pick up why he could remember that over so much else, he says that because you taught me how to do this. So it kind of dawned on me that it's possible. You can teach a 5-year-old to learn in his own way, so that he goes through life just loving it, seeing it for what beauty it really is, right? Now, if I'm seeing, if I'm observing this right, he's already in a much more positive state than a lot of other people. Like, his adult guides are negative, and he's combating it with positivity and reframing their thoughts as to why things doesn't need to be bad. Like, he's 5 years old. So that kind of blew my mind, and it has put me on this constant quest to figure out what's really possible, right? And today, seeing that my kids alone, as they play in the pool, go like this just to focus and use their minds to combat the cold. Completely insane. Now, I wanted to share that with a lot of people, and because I wanted to share that, I was called a cult leader and a scam artist and a pyramid scheme facilitator, because I had built this amazing thing from the community that I learned it from, basically. And so, because I run this group, I took it from 100 people to 3,000, right? This is a very specific interest. So people came there to learn about this interest. And I'm going to get into that because it's a part of how I changed everything in my reality, right? But let's not say everything at once, shall we? The thing is, I had built something that I knew it was going to help them. I knew that those people in need, those people who's sitting at home complaining that they are bored while they're sitting and complaining on a smartphone with a Netflix running in the background, they had specific ways of talking. They had specific narratives in their brains. So I asked them questions. And because I've been there, I know what's on the other side, right? So I'm trying to guide these people to that place. And so far, the feedback has been amazing. So I created a bigger thing that could help more people. When I shared it, I must have been a little hyped because I didn't really go through and read everything, and this was the first time they've ever heard of it, and it was basically just videos. It was basically just what you're watching right now. Just me talking to other people, me talking to the camera, me trying to do certain things just to see how far we could go as humans. My journey. And so since I knew so many people had seen positive effects from this, meditations that just took your spirit out of your body, right? All these things, I knew that I had to share it. As I shared it, it was such a huge nudge in the paradigm that they are currently in that they saw it for something completely different. Fueled with negativity, right? As a nefarious means of basically recruiting people to a cult. I was blown away. But that's why I figured I should create something that is going to explain everything of why I think the way I do, how I got from being $4 million in debt, having an inoperable blood clot, losing my family to deportation, spending 3 years in prison fighting suicide, all these things that I went through and learned a lot about. They changed how I see the world. And after I lost my family, I needed to get them back. So I started to study way more, and I've just kept that to myself. I am an egocentric douchebag, right? So I've been trying to share it in the best way possible, but it has been scattered all over the place. This video right now is basically the first video that is going to take everything from step one. And I'm going to just try to structure this in a way that people can just go through the entire series and hopefully be able to see why I think the way I do. Because it takes a long time to explain why a bad thought shouldn't bother you, or how a breath could basically snap you out of depression or anxiety, or why astral projection actually does what it does. Remote viewing, ESP, healing, all these things that I was completely against 2 years ago. But then I start to really research the things. I found the lost Gospel of Thomas, right? Nag Hammadi. This completely rewrote the entire view I had on Christianity. I found Brian Muraresku, Secret Religion with No Name. The Immortality Key, by the way. As I read that, it changed everything I knew about religion and psychedelics and everything as I knew it. Completely shifted my entire paradigm. After that, my life has been very inquisitive. It's like an experiment. I'm always trying to do something else, and I'm also always trying to learn something new. And it's become a continuous developmental growth pattern. I broke the habits of breaking habits, or Yeah, I got into the habit of breaking habits. I learned how to learn. But if I don't share my findings, how is that helping anyone? So I figured it's time to just share that with as many people as I can at one place where I know they're at. It's going to be good. It's going to be great to kind of just try to make a video going from the beginning and just taking it and seeing how far we can go, and then expanding on it, and then learning more to research to further that path. The 100-day challenge on my other channel changed my life because I measured where I was going. I measured my first interaction with a subject, and I did it every single day for 100 days, and I learned as I went through that journey. This is going to be so much bigger than that because now I actually know what I'm doing. Back then, I had no idea what I was doing. I was still learning. I was taking away from my calling. I started to feel isolated. I started to lose friends. I started to see things differently and get to a different level that I didn't think I had. And as I did that, I learned that I had to do things differently. It's so weird. We need to face some failures. We need to face some challenges in order to see what we really need to do, right? So you face and you fail and you see that didn't work. So now you know exactly what to do next time. And you know what it's not going to work. So you're just going to continue to refine what works. It's been a long journey. Holy crap. And during that journey, I've learned freedom. I've learned how to attain true freedom, being in fulfillment, motivation, and love. I've created a community of cosmocentric Vikings. How cool is that? People who see these things in the way I do because I spent time talking to them and just going through these concepts of quantum physics and epigenetics and energy and frequencies and how we can interact with those and the meditations and the manifestations and how that works in scientific terms as far as we know right now, currently. Because there's so much to science that I had no idea. Now I do, and I understand why, as far as I'm experiencing it. So I'm talking about things that has actually changed my life. I don't have the blood clot that the doctors struggle with for 13 years. Specialists putting me on pills. Literally, I have by my side 900 unopened pills that they just threw at me. All these things that we were told was true, which turned out to be bullshit. Now it's like, it's a duty. It's something that we have to do to share this knowledge so that everyone can see things. And hopefully, by listening to these things, you'll have one thought that you didn't have before that's just going to lead you down a completely new rabbit hole that is going to completely change your life. Because it starts with one thought. And if I can provide that to you, I'm blessed beyond words. But I want you to know that the things that I'm going to cover in this challenge series, whatever, it's going to be my experience, the things that I've read. And so do not take it as truth. Take it as a foundation or like a brick in the foundation. And then if you want to know more, ask about it so we can expand on it. Or do your research. Just pick up some books. I'm going to do my very best to quote sources in this so that you can go back and see that for yourself, or read a book that I read and then see how you feel about it. And then maybe you can, if we talk, I'm going to learn so much from the people who's above me in this journey. People who see things, who can explain them in a better way. So we're going to continuously meet people on the path, talk to them, see how we can go through these challenges and transcend and basically live a completely free life. That is the purpose of this, just to document a completely free life where I try to package everything that I know in the best possible way, and then learning everything I know or everything that I can during my period here to see where we can basically end up in. Like, I have no idea where this is going. I have no idea what's about to happen. I just know that it's huge because recent events have completely changed my entire view on reality. I have had books fallen into my lap. I've been interrupted in videos on this channel right now, my entrepreneurial journey, as I was talking about the actual organ of the Department of Justice that threw out my family. I was talking about them for the first time and they interrupt my video. on the top of a mountain in the southern part of Norway. It's completely insane. Now, these things, these synchronicities are happening all the time now. So I need to document these so I can go back and just, yeah, it started happening already there. So you know, you're not crazy. Because I need to measure this. I need to document this so that I can review it later. I can go back to when I lost my daughter to deportation, and I can feel those emotions again. And I can anchor those in me and say that I'm never going to have those again, because now I know the pain of going through that. I know exactly what to do not to get there. I know what problems to solve, what solutions to find to actually make this happen. So this is going to be huge. I just don't know what exactly is going to happen. I know that I'm going to change again as a person, and I'm really much looking forward to that. I hope that I can meet some amazing people, because I've met some amazing people that blows my mind. Dude, the community in this, the people on the path, when you find your soul brothers and sisters and you really resonate with these people and you talk about things that no people talk about, of real things, it changes life, and it's amazing. So yeah, we're going to talk about freedom in this. Every step that I went through, everything that I learned that has some significance in the path to freedom. I hope that you're going to enjoy this, and I'm going to try to do this 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 p.m. UTC plus 2, which is 2 p.m. EDT. See, I'm still trying to figure out the time zones all over the world, because after doing this for a while, it's hard to fit that sweet spot where you talk to your friends on the other side of the world at the same time as the ones around you. It's mayhem. So yeah, trying to do that Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I hope that you're here for the first one tomorrow. I'm going to prepare. I'm going to start from the beginning and see what I can share about my understanding of quantum physics and the energy that is around us and how we are connected to that and how we can interact with that. So we're going to start with that, and it's going to be interesting. Have a fantastic day and take care of freaking family. The stream will also